Why doesn't she love me? There was a part that was so angry inside. So let me explain. When I was 27, I was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, and I spent the next few years working on my trauma and got to a place of blending and wholeness. And for the last 20 years, I have been doing wonderful, and I've decided to share what happened, my secret, to give other people hope. So here I am. I have this 8-year-old part inside that is just angry, and they didn't like photos taken, so actually we drew a picture of what she looked like. I think she actually drew the picture like years ago just to show Leah, who was counseling me, what she looked like. She was just angry, but anger scared me because of the different people in my life. So it was this, I'm very angry, but I don't know what to do with this anger. And then her other question was, why doesn't she love me? Why didn't my mom care? Why? That is how she felt. She didn't understand why she let these things happen. She didn't understand why she didn't do anything. She didn't understand why she didn't know about what was going on. And so I was wrestling with this. How do you help this little one know that she was okay to feel angry and yet not take that anger out on somebody else? And well, here's the kicker. That little one wasn't only angry at Mom. She was angry at God. God is an evil, mean, horrible God. And the best way that I knew how to express feelings that were going on was writing stories. So I had the great idea. Usually when I would get a story idea, I would know the beginning and I would know the end, the middle, and I would let the end play itself out. And I had no idea until I sat down and I wrote. So this little one's idea was, I got it. I'm going to write Leah a story and show her how awfully mean God is. He is horrible. He is mean. He is awful. And that is how I was feeling when I wrote The Rag Doll. And so just to give you an idea, I will read it in 2 other videos. I'll have to split it in half. But I'm writing it and I am angry and this, I'm writing this story and I'm writing this story, and I was on the couch and I was writing and I got so mad I moved over to the kitchen table, and I'm at the kitchen table and I was just pouring out my heart as I was writing this story. And as I was writing this story, I don't know how it happened, but I transformed and could see it from God's point of view. And I literally, as I'm writing, started crying because I was setting out to prove how mean and horrible God was. And I was writing it. I was proving to myself what a good, amazing God he was. It blew my brains away. I'm like, how I was going to prove to Leah and everybody else that God was mean. And in the middle of this story, I got to see things from his point of view. Very, very strange, but I will never forget that experience in my heart. Like, he wasn't mad at me for being angry at him. He wasn't mad at that little 8-year-old for being angry at him. And he just let me pour out my frustration. And yet somehow in the middle of my story helped me see things from his point of view. And it was like, oh, God's heart was broken for me too. And that just brought healing. So if you're up for listening to the story that I wrote, it's called The Rag Doll, and I will be sharing it in the next couple days. Thanks so much for listening to my story, and there's so much more to come.